Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, well, for those who are unaware of the quote from Louis XV, Après moi le déluge, and I'm sure that any French speakers who heard me say that are going to say that that sounds terrible because even my producer is currently laughing at me behind the camera because my Kansas accent does not do French very much justice, and I do apologize to the francophones out there. But après moi le déluge, that's a quote from Louis XV, and the quote was, after me the flood, basically saying after he was gone, things would get bad in France, and as you could probably tell from the fate of Louis XVI, that's exactly how things went. I made this video because, Trump in many ways was holding back a flood, and he wasn't holding back a bad flood. What he was doing was he was holding back these visa applications. I just did not really realize it. When you do this kind of work, you have all these cases, and they're certainly, they're in your mind. But as long as you're up to date on what you need to do with them to that point, you sort of file them away, compartmentalize them in your mind, and you just deal with it when it becomes timely. Well, in a lot of cases, we had all the documentation up to date, everything was good, and then everything was just held up at NBC during, Trump was citing COVID, but, he also made a lot of executive orders to hold cases back. Long story short, especially in the K1 category, it was just being held back. It was like a dam. And honestly, a couple of days after Biden, maybe not days, but at least a week after Biden, and since then, Biden coming into office and the administration taking over, it's been like a deluge. It's been a flood. A lot of those cases that were, all backlogged are now coming forward. Now, that's not necessarily a great thing. We're definitely staying on top of it, but it also clogs up later parts of the visa apparatus. So not only us are being flooded, I can't imagine what U.S. Embassy Thailand or U.S. Embassy Cambodia or Laos, their caseload, they must have gone from, a relative trickle, if even anything, to just a spike, a huge amount of cases coming off NBC, now moving through the conveyor belt, if you will, going into interviews. So yeah, it's been some pretty trying times, keeping on top of everything. We've certainly done that. We're certainly happy to stay on top of stuff. And it's, we've also had a lot of cases that have now been approved and folks are moving on. So that's certainly good news. But I thought it was worth mentioning that, yeah, since, in roughly the month since Biden has took over, it's been like someone flicked a switch and the floodgates just came open and boom, these cases are just coming through. And it's certainly a deluge is pretty correct word for it.